I discovered I had sickle cell at the age of 9 when I was in primary 5, and growing up with it's as if your life is fluctuating, it's somehow going up and down, thinking you will die this day or the next, but you see yourself coming back again, being strong and healthy. But living with sickle cell is not that easy, because it makes you so imbalanced that sometimes before you make a decision, you have to think twice, or before you do something, you have to think twice before even taking the step of doing that thing. For my parents, they treated me nice, as they knew the condition, because my brother's own was discovered since when he was little. So taking care of us was not that stressful to them, because they know about it and they know the food to give us, the drugs, and when we are in crisis or when we are sick, they know that we need to go to the hospital and to maintain our daily, our normal routine of drugs and checkups. But from people outside, sometimes we do get some ill treatment, thinking this girl is sick, she will soon die, so don't give her this heart something. Or sometimes I do feel rejected, or they put me out of the picture, which I don't find it funny at times, but living with it has taught me a lot. My parents have 3 kids, which I'm the first, and 2 of us, me and my younger brother, are living with sickle cell disease. Yes. My other one is AS, and the relationship between us, since he knows everything about it, and sometimes he feels how he wish he could take the sickness away when he sees us crying or shouting because of a pain, and he feels sorry for us. He will be like if he wish he could help. But yes, and his relationship with us is not something that you end up regretting, because he's a caring somebody and he's very concerned about me and my brother. Their genotype, they are put AS, and they didn't know about it because it was then, and mine is SS. Sometimes they look at me with pity, and most of the times they support me, or when I'm down, they try to be close by to pet me and always be there for me, trying to see that I get the best treatment, and they try to make sure that the pain goes away as fast as they can. And if it were to be for them, they would have taken that sickness or put it on them, so that I won't feel the pains of the crisis. There are some people that told me that at this age, when you reach this certain age, you'll be sickle cell free. I was like, wow, I can't wait for that age. But then some do tell us that at this certain age to you, that I'll feel scared, and sometimes even if I'm going to a relationship or having to make a decision that will take a little bit of my time, I do think twice before making that decision. But I always get inspired by one woman. She's a sickle cell patient, but she has lived her life, she has children, and she has passed 60. So anytime I get that thought, or people tell me about dying soon, I look to that woman as an inspiration, and I see that my spirit is somehow lifted, and and I'm not scared of dying or something like that. Okay, they gave me a number of 18, 19, 20, and God's willing, I've passed those stages, and I see myself still healthy and alive, even doing things I think I wasn't able to do. And sometimes I look back and see, well, some of these people lied to me, and some put that kind of fear in me of leaving this world or dying without achieving anything at the end. It depends on maybe the weather. When the weather is cold or during the rainy seasons, I do have much crisis or pains in my joints. And as of 2020, the crisis was much for last year because I was almost going in and out of the hospital, or in and out of pains from one body part to the other. Sometimes we do go down together, and his crisis is not that much now that he's past 18, unlike when he was small, that he goes into crisis, will be admitted, after being discharged he will come back, then still go back again because of the crisis. But when he has grown now, his own is better and he's healthier than when he was small. But mine was, when I was small, I didn't have that much crisis because it was discovered lately. But when I was growing, let's say 2017, 18, 19, then 2020, I was having a lot of health crisis. I do get different expression from people, and I remember on one occasion, two of my classmates were discussing that, sickle cell patient, this, they look very sick, they are very pale, they are looking so dehydrated. I was sitting down quietly, then I now turned. The response I gave them was, now look at me, do I look sick and the rest? He said no. I said, okay, I have sickle cell. Then they were like, is a lie. To the extent there were some of them that even insulted me that I was lying. I was lying about it. But some do believe when they see me going through that crisis, or when I'm sick, they will now say yes, or they notice I'm limping, then they will ask what happened. I'll tell them this is it, but they will say I don't look sick at all. When I was in secondary school, they would be like, sicky Plangnan, or you like falling sick, something like that. Or the way I walk, because I do limp a little, so they will say, look at how she's walking, this and that, she's limping. And sometimes I feel very uncomfortable, and sometimes I don't feel like telling them. But when I grew a little bit older and I discovered that it's not a death sentence, I didn't apply this for myself. So I don't feel scared of saying that this is what I have. I feel bad because it wasn't our fault we are sick. It's because of ignorance, and maybe that time it wasn't that known as of then. It wasn't known that this is a health challenge, or this is something that will cause pains and trouble to a person per se. But sometimes I feel bad when they see it, and I just feel like, God, why all this? But everything happens for a reason and a purpose. I have a problem with people calling me a sickler because I didn't do it myself. It's not my fault that I'm like this, and physically I don't look sick. Anything that a normal person can do, I think I can do it since I have the strength. But someone calling me a sickler, I know, yes, that is who I am, but I don't look sick, and I know that with God I can do anything, because he is the one that gives me the strength. He knows that God cannot give, he knows he cannot give me a situation that I can't handle. So he knows about it, and he knows that yes, Plangnan can handle this, so he give me. So I don't see why someone will come and start calling me a sickler. I feel bad, I feel awkward how people do treat persons with sickle cell, because it's not our fault. The pains are unbearable. So some of the health personnel or some people around think we do fake it or we act it so that we'll get attention, which is not supposed to be. And my opinion on how you are to treat a sickle cell patient is that you should reduce the workload of that person and always try to see that that patient is always covered well with socks and sweaters, and his head are covered too with cap, and always give them the right medication and the right food to eat, because if you don't give them the right food to eat, you end up spending the money that you're supposed to buy the food in the hospital, buying all sorts of medicine and all sorts of treatment. So the way you have to treat a sickle cell patient is treat him with care, and he should be pampered and always give him that attention he wants. Sometimes I feel very awkward and angry, as if I should go and beat them up, because some of them, most especially the health personnel, they say we are drug addicts, this, that, and that. We don't know anything, only to take drugs that will make us feel high, something like that. But the truth is, it's not our fault. The pains are very unbearable. The friends I have, if you are in my life to judge me or to look down on me, I do away with you, because you won't add anything to my life. So I do away with you, and I surround myself with people that will encourage me and give me hopes. And I know that yes, Plangnan, you have something you can do out there. You have a better future and a great life to live. Not that someone will come and tell me, see you, this girl, you are trying to do all these things. Meanwhile, you don't know your life, your days on earth are numbered, and your lifespan is cut short because of the ailment you have. So I do away with them and try not to think much on those talks and all those thoughts, and try to clear my head from those, thoughts from my head, so that I won't have a negative feeling or negative perspective of life. Previously, I had some relationships that I was like regretting, and some they feel I do pretend or I lie about a lot of things, or I'm doing, or everything they keep on blaming me, thinking it's my fault and don't have time. But lately, my present relationship, I've learned that if I'm in a relationship as a sickle cell patient, it doesn't mean that I don't deserve to be happy, because my present relationship, I feel happy. I feel yes, this guy understands me and always try to see that Plangnan don't stress herself, she don't overwork, and she always try to keep warm in any way he could. He helps me and is always there when I need him. I think it's not meant to be that a parent should pressure a sickle cell patient to get married, because they have a life apart from their married life. And as yes, it's good to get married, but the thing is, you are not to force your child into marriage, because if you force your child into marriage, he might end up, or he or she might end up in the wrong hands and won't be taken care of properly. So you need to check health-wise and economically wise, so that your child gets the best care as a sickle cell patient and is not overstressed in his or her home, or is not looked down upon or goes into an abusive marriage because you force that child into the marriage. For me, the opinion or the thoughts of AS and AS getting married shouldn't be something you would bargain or gamble yourself into marriage with, because love is not enough, because their own is pure wickedness, should I say, and they don't have pity. If they have people around living with sickle cell and they still want to go and get married and have children who would have sickle cell disease, I think their own is wickedness, since they know it and they are trying to get married or gamble themselves into marriage. Because I don't see in this generation of us, or in these present times, there are a lot of awareness and a lot of there are a lot of awareness. So I don't think they should think love would overcome everything, because love cannot overcome this kind of sickness. So my advice is, if you are AS and the person you are planning to get married to is AS, you shouldn't go into that marriage, despite the fact that you can get AA and AS, but there is a high tendency you will get also a sickle cell patient. So you shouldn't gamble yourself into marriage as both AS parties, because you would end up regretting, and your finances too will suffer, and you too as parents will suffer, because it's not a child's play training a sickle cell patient or taking care of a sickle cell patient. My name is Plangnan Musa, and I'm a 300 level student of University of Jos, studying religion and philosophy, and I'm a person living with sickle cell disease, and I'm not a sickler as people will say, and I'm not a sickler as people will say. And what I want to tell other people living with sickle cell is that they shouldn't lose hope. Sickle cell is not a death sentence, because once there's life, there is hope, and don't think you can't do anything. Go and do what your mind is telling you. Go and pursue your dreams, and you'll see that the sky is just your starting point.